What's happening, everybody? Chupacabra Offroad back in the desert.
Here with Chase Mankin.
Chase Mankin, how old are you and where are you from?
I'm 12 years old and I'm from Temecula, California.
And Chase is here in my neighborhood, Northern Peoria. We're here at CanAm MX Raceway for WORCS racing this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to be racing my 250 here pretty soon, my 570 and my RS1.
So we ran into Chase a couple years ago, 2019 UTV World Championships. Got an awesome video of Chase winning the title.
Yes.
Since linked up, Chase is one of our premier drivers and athletes. His first race of the day here Saturday is with his 250.
50 car.
So Chase, give us a little bit of a background. Obviously it started off as a Polaris RAZR 170. Now we're pumped up, we're running more horsepower. Give us some of the ins and outs of this car, what you really like about it.
Oh yeah, this is a 170 car modified into a 232 motor. And this is a mod car, which just has bigger motor. It's a 170, same shocks, same everything except the motor.
So Chase, we all know when you buy a 170 off the showroom floor, it's a two-seater. Yours is obviously a one-seater and you're sitting right in the middle of this car just like your RS1. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's I like it way better just because it feels like you're more balanced. And I mean, you're not hitting your head's not hitting the window net. So I think the center seater is just better.
Yeah, so I've driven a Ace and I've driven an RS1. The thing I like about sitting in the middle is I feel normally on a regular car I can slide one way and I feel comfortable, but the other way I struggle. So as you're racing, as you're practicing breaking the back end loose, is it easier to do that when you're sitting in the middle of the car?
Yes, especially this thing is two-wheel drive, so you can't really throw it into a corner and you can't really just drift into a corner hard like you can in this car, which is the center seater. It's four-wheel drive and that helps a lot. This one is also four-wheel drive, but it's not a center seater because you've got to be in you've got to have a stock seat mount.
Looks like we have some beefed up suspension.
Yep.
Elka shocks look really cool. Of course, got a skid plate, bumper. And if we move to the back of the 250 here, you've got some big disc brake here. Nice solid rear axle. Again, some more Elka shocks. This thing's tuned up. You said we're running on race gas, right?
Yes.
Got the Maxxis tires. Sounds like in this class, I was talking to your parents, it's all about maximizing the horsepower for the lightweight, right? I mean, that's really what you need to be competitive.
Yeah, it's making it strong and fast. You've got to find that balance of how fast can you go without breaking the tranny or the motor or breaking something, because these cars are very fragile.
Okay, so this is probably where you started off with, and then from there you went into the 570, is that correct?
This is a 250. I started it on 170, and then I got this thing into the 570, and now I got the RS1 that I just got.
Let's go take a look at the 570 real quick, and then we'll go to your RS1.
Okay.
All right, so the 570 is looking cool. You got all wrapped up, all matching cars here for the 2021 season. Love the colors. RAZR 570, first thing I noticed, you were telling me about how you guys relocated the radiator. I thought it was in an interesting position. I was curious, is that for optimizing weight or cooling or all the above?
We moved it there for a couple reasons. We moved it there because every time I'd roll this car, I'd roll it to the driver's side. So what we were trying to do, we were trying to get the center of gravity lower and on a different side of the car. So now we've got the gas tank, the radiator, which balances out my weight and kind of the steering wheel, all that stuff. So
keeps all the heaviest elements right in the middle of the car, huh? And even on left and right. It's a pretty cool custom dash setup. You got your radio, and then you've got all of your speedo, obviously. What are you looking at? Are you looking at miles per hour? Are you looking at any of this data while you're racing, or are you just focusing on hitting your marks?
Not really. I'm focused on hitting my marks. If I need to, if something goes wrong, I've got a power steering reset. I've got my Parker pumper. I've got my PCI radio.
Yeah, speaking of PCI radio, your dad's on listening to you. Is your dad talking to you, and are you talking back, or are you just kind of listening to what he tells you? How much do you guys chat during a race?
He tells me gaps, distances for how far I have to the person behind me, how close I am to the person in front of me. He just tells me like distance-wise. He tells me off the start if I'm clear to move over. I think a radio is a huge help because you can kind of just guide you.
Looks really safe. I like how the chassis is all triangulated right here in the center. like you said, all your weight's low and center so you can hit those corners as fast as you can, huh?
Yes.
Let's head over here. And you just started racing an RS1 this year, right?
Yeah, this is my second race in this thing.
Okay, so you only raced it one time so far?
Yeah, that was at Havasu when I broke an A-arm, so...
And your dad was telling me that this is a stock motor, full 1,000 cc's, and I've driven an RS1. They're squirty, they're fast little cars, they're lightweight. So, I mean, how does this feel? Is this twice as fast as the 570? Is it scary? Is it comfortable? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's about twice as, not quite twice as fast, but it takes off a lot faster. It's got a higher top speed. It's got better suspension. It's a really good car because you don't have to do much to it to come out here and race. Like the 570 and the 250 car, you've got to do so much more to the actual car. You've got to get a super light car, you've got to get a motor, you've got to change belts every race, you've got to just make it as best as you can. Where this thing, you just come out here with stock and put some shocks on it, put some tires on it, and you're basically ready to run.
Yeah, I was talking to your dad about what it takes to keep these cars running all weekend, and from what I thought and heard, these RS1s are really tough and pretty reliable.
Yes.
I mean, obviously you're out there battling, you're probably touching tires with other racers, you're hitting jumps. You guys are beating these things up pretty good, but it sounds like the RS1's pretty tough and it can take a lot of abuse, huh?
Yeah, it's a pretty tough car. We're probably going to change the belt for the race to get it all ready, and should be good. We've got our groove tires in the front, our shaved tires in the back to get us some more traction.
Got a cool custom roll cage, you got a cool steering wheel, obviously you got your radio so you can talk with your dad.
Yeah.
The RS1's already set up for 2 feet driving. So you got your safety taken care of course, with your window nuts, you got your fresh air pumper. And obviously an upgraded cooling fan, just keep this sucker running cool when you're racing when it's hot.
This thing's got 2 fans instead of 1.
Beefier suspension, looks like you got your beefed up radius rods.
Yeah, I've got some seal savers on there to keep the shocks clean.
Nice little mud guard, just keep some rocks out of your back wheels if you have any issues with brakes or wheels.
Yeah.
Little bumper, got a couple little nicks on it, huh?
Yeah.
So is this the most fun to drive? Is it still learning for you? What do you think?
I'm still learning in this car. It's really fun to drive. I like the 570 better. So yeah, this is a great car to just come out here and drive. So this is what I'll be racing.
All right, Chase, so you race a lot of times throughout the year. You race all over the Southwest. What are some of the races you look forward to the most? What are your favorite?
One of my favorite tracks is Mesquite because of the jumps. It's a really flowy motocross section. The desert section's fast. I love going fast.
Does the track still have that big uphill in the back section? You race up that?
It's got a big uphill, yes, where we go this thing in the RS1 and go up that, come back down, hit some jumps, go back out to the desert, do that, come back. It's a fun track.
Cool. So we talked UTV World Championships. You've won that race before. What are the races you think are the biggest, most important to win?
One of the 2 big races we're looking forward to win. We're looking forward to win the Worlds. Well, I'm going for 3 cars. My 570, my 250, and my stock car, which Worlds is the only race it's going to be racing this year to get it ready. And just because we don't really have time to put 4 cars together,
So you're 12 years old, right?
Yes, I'm 12.
And you're turning 13 this year, right?
Yes, November.
So you were talking to me yesterday at dinner about how some of the different racing associations, you're going to be too old for some of the classes?
Yeah, for the Mid 400, in my 250 and 170, we're not going to be able to race it because I'm going to be 13 and you've got to be 12 to race in the 250 or 170 class. That's the age limit. Where these I'm going to be racing and go for another win.
So Chase, you got a lot of sponsors to help you out. Polaris RAZR, 4-wheel parts, of course Chupacabra Offroad, Magic, they do a lot of really nice wraps, Sparco seats, Temecula Motorsports, an amazing dealership there in Southern California, Elka Shocks, PCI radios, anti-gravity batteries, Demon Power Sports, Roll Design, and Benchmark Performance. So talk about some of your sponsors.
My sponsors obviously help me out a lot. Polaris RAZR RAZR gives us discounts on parts, so primary trannies, belts, all that good stuff that you need to be able to race one of these things. Full parts is also huge. They give us discounts, stuff, just all stuff like that that we need to also race. Chupacabra Offroad is a great promoter, as you can see right now. We've got Magic, which does these beautiful wraps. We've got Sparko, which is my seat, and we're going to put in some Sparko belts. We've got Temecula Motorsports, which gives us also a discount on belts and shirts and parts, gas, liquids, all that stuff. PCI radios helped us tune our radios. Oka suspension is just helping us with our 250 car, getting it all dialed before the race.
Yeah, your dad was saying Elka Shocks is out here at the races, so it's a big help when you're trying to get your suspension tuned. They can take a look at it and make sure you're on the right track.
Yeah, they're a big help with the suspension. We've got Roll Design, that's who tunes our shocks. We've got anti-gravity batteries, which runs our car. Demon Power Sports is our axles. And Benchmark Performance is another pretty big sponsor. They tune our motor. They do this thing. They do a huge help with this thing. And yeah, so that's my sponsors. We've also got Maxxis tires, which are these big Polaris 2.0s, which run great. We've got the Method race wheels. They're light, fast, and strong.
Oh yeah, I use Method race wheels on my race car too. They're awesome.
Yes. So that's all my sponsors, which help a ton with this. Provide discounts, stuff, help, support, all the stuff that you need to make this sport affordable. Without all the sponsors, it's really expensive out there. So
you're preaching, man. Racing is a very expensive sport, and thanks to all the sponsors that help you out.
yes.
They help out all the racers in general, because racers, you guys are pushing your cars to the limit. You're trying to get better and faster and be as competitive as you can be, so you've got to have those right parts on your vehicle so you can be competitive, right?
Yeah, you definitely need the right parts at the right time to get these cars running and get them out on the racetrack to be competitive, to be number one, to get podium, all that good stuff. You need all these sponsors.
So Chase is getting ready for his first race of the weekend. They got here Thursday night, practice Friday. Dad worked on the vehicles all night last night and missed us for dinner. But as you guys can probably see, it's a tremendous amount of effort to keep all those cars running. He's gonna run the 250 class right now. Later on in the day, he's gonna run the RS1 and the 1000 production. And then he's gonna race the 570 Sunday before they head out and get all those cars prepped, because he's gonna race next weekend with me and Parker. So a lot of effort, really cool. Pretty cool to see what goes into these little cars in particular. Almost just like my desert car, guys. Ton of work and effort, and I can only imagine wrenching on all three for one weekend of racing, and then trying to get them all prepped for another race the following weekend. And as many times as they race, they do most all of the WORCS races, some of the best in the deserts, and UTV World Championships in the Mint 400. So definitely a family affair. Mom and Dad are working on the cars as we're in between filming there, coming all the way out, of course, and traveling all around the Southwest to make it happen. So really cool to see. We're gonna get some action here of Chase, and we'll follow up to see how he does with his results.